Are you recording? Good morning. Right, so what we're going to do this morning, we are going to do puree soup. Yeah? So this afternoon, the theory is going to be stocks and sauces, which we should have started. Basic stocks and basic sauces. Basic stock. And then we're going to move on to soup classifications. So on the Wednesday we're doing the, I think 707. I'm going to look at the 202. I'm going to look at the unit numbers. I think it's 202, which is food safety on a Wednesday, and whatever the unit number is on a Thursday, we'll be doing the practical and the theory on the Thursday. Yeah. Now, last week I gave you a little show of the different types of knives that we'll be using, and I'm going to take you through the techniques. Now, it's going to be very, very easy, right? Now, I'm going to try and do it like a 5-minute demonstration, right? Don't take it, because it's your lesson. I don't take it too much of your time. But once I've got it and it's recorded, at least if I get it on Teams, of course. Once I put it on there, you can always keep revisiting it and then practice at home and looking at the techniques. And that's what I really want, yeah? Okay, so that's what's going to happen this morning. So this morning, I've got a chopping knife and I've got a peeler, right? If you've got the speed peeler, the one, the broad one, it won't matter, right? Every tool in the knife set is to be used specifically for a job. So students are not allowed to peel potatoes or vegetables with a knife. You might do that at home, you don't do that at college. You use a veg peeler. You're going to find it difficult, but if you keep on practicing, it will come like nothing. So, I want to just position the camera differently now. So you've got your chopping knife, and then you've got your veg peeler. There you go. I want to position the knife differently now, and as you can see, we're using the chopping board, the brown chopping board there. So what do I have here? I have something to put for my waste. So I've put all my waste vegetables in there, like that. And I'm going to show you a few different cuts. Am I not? Yeah? Yeah. So that you remember, and then you will know, right? My carrot, I'll quickly do that. Right, so I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to just screw it up a little bit. There's no real reason, but you'll know why in a minute. Right, and then I'm going to just get a little rough chop, like that. And then I'm going to put this tray here, so it might get captured by the camera as well. Does it? Maybe and maybe not. It doesn't matter. Right, okay, I can always bring that onto the table anyway. So I'm going to stick this here. Right, there is a reason. There is a reason why I'm doing the different vegetable cuts. I don't expect you to do the different vegetables. Well, all I expect you to do today is to chop up the vegetables. I'll show you what I'll tell you what I want. It's a puree soup today. So it's going to be carrot and coriander soup. We've got loads of carrots somewhere floating about. So I'm going to then cut these ones, all these little strips. When I reach a certain level and I can't go no more, I just use it for the wastage. There's a reason. Hello.
Yeah, I was going to ask that for what we're going to do now. Do we have to cut the carrot in a particular?
I will come to that. I will come to that. Right. I'm going to have julienne and jardiniere. Right, so my julienne are going to be thin strips. Now, I did say to you that the good way to remember julienne is stir fry. Yeah? When you're making a stir fry, you want thin strips. That's julienne. Yeah? Once you do the julienne, from the julienne you get the smallest dices, and we normally use it for garnish. And it's a shame that ain't working on the board. If it was working, I could write it down for you. You've got the macédoine. Today, I want you to concentrate more on the cuts than the name. Yeah? Don't worry about that. I'll find a way of writing it down so that you remember the names. But this morning, I'm just more interested in the practical, which is going to be in a few seconds, in a few moments. That's what I'm going to be assessing you on, your practical skills, not your knowledge, not at this stage. So if you can't remember paysan or mirepoix, you can't remember it, it's not a problem, right? But what I want to see is a fair attempt at the stuff that I'm producing here and now. I say fair, not exact, right? A fair attempt. So we'll have our jardiniere, which is battens, and then we have our, that's brunoise, sorry, macédoine, which is cubes.
So what do you call the cubes?
Macédoine.
Yeah, name of the cubes.
Macédoine, brunoise.
Okay.
Right. Then, if I'm going to do a paysan, I'll do it over here. It's going to be different types of shapes, Sorry,
sir, you forgot to tell us the name of the ingredients you are using today.
Eh?
Name of the ingredients you are using today.
Name of the who?
The ingredients.
What made you using carrots?
I'm just saying.
Celery.
What?
Carrots and celery.
Right, but no, you know, right now, right on this moment now, all you need to know is how to cut it.
Okay.
Right? Right. Remember how to dice an onion and how to slice an onion? I want you to have an attempt at both of them. Right. Right, first of all, you've got your root. Always keep the root attached to the onion. Keep the root. Right. So now I'm going to remove the root to slice it. To slice it, I'm going to remove the root. All right. I'm talking. You're talking. I'm not recording. Right. So I'm going to slice it. Yeah. I'll go with the grain. Yeah. With the grain. That means the lines, the natural lines of the onion. I'm just following it all the way through, all the way to the end. And that is my sliced onions. Yeah? Then I'm going to do diced onions. I keep the root on. Then I just make an incision halfway through, not all the way through, in the onion. And I'm going to go down and make little, and the thinner the slats going along, I'm going to use that, is the smaller the dice. So if I go on like that, I should end up with brunoise. And then I go across the grain, not with the grain, across it, like that. When I go across it, I end up with dices. Just like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Nothing to it. Lovely, lovely. Lovely, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Right. So I showed you Julian, Jardinier, Brunoise, Macédoine. With the leek, normally we use the green part of the leek, but the real green part of it, just for stock. We don't really use it for the cooking, but we cook with it, but we don't use it for the eating part of it. It's just for the stock, right? We can put it in a mirepoix. This is a mirepoix, right? So you'll see me roughly chopping that. The other thing I'm going to show you a bouquet garni, but I'll show it to you at a later stage. Right? So this is your mirepoix. Mirepoix. Got it? Can you see? Yeah? So, what do we have to do? We have to rewash it. Yeah, it's been washed. We have to rewash it because otherwise the grit from the leeks is going to end up in the soup. Yeah? So far, so now I'm going to get my leeks and I'm going to add it to this over here. It's a mixture of shapes, but it's almost the same size, and that's called a paysan, right? So I want you to, right, so you've got, okay, mirepoix. That's when you cut a mirepoix, it's for the rough cut vegetables, for the base of the stocks and your sauces, right? Then you've got your julienne, brunoise, julienne, brunoise, jardinier, macédoine, paysan, which is a mixture of different shapes, but reasonably the same size. That is why I said next week we're doing a potage paysan, and I knew nobody even researched it. I did it deliberately yesterday to see if people could tell me what a potage paysan is. It's vegetables that are cut up, different shapes, and they're visible in the soup. With a puree, it's all mashed up and pureed. But in a potage, the vegetables are visible. Yeah, right. So, and then you've got your sliced onions and your diced onions. Okay, I just want to show you one more thing. Which one's jardinier? Which one is it?
It's shaped.
Which one is it?
I think it's the onion.
Come and show me.
Sure.
Come and show me.
You said the side vegetable. I'm not sure. That's what I'm asking.
Okay. Well, I think
maybe this.
No. So what I would suggest you watch the video and you will know. Yeah. Because I did I tell you what it is? This is jardinier.
There's one strip
He
one.
said the side, side.
Go again.
The carrots.
Hey?
The second one, the carrot one. The first one.
Come show me. Because if she came in late, so if she knows, pay attention.
This is Julian, this is Julian.
Oh, please, thank you so much.
This is Julian, this one. This one
I'm
is
not
Julian.
talking about Julian, I said Jed.
Yeah, this is Julian.
I'm telling you so you know the
Pay
role.
attention.
I know the one I do.
Pay attention. Pay attention.
Paying attention.
Thank you.
Chardonnay is the biggest one. Yeah, that is stir fry.
I did tell you when he was doing it, standing there
The
watching.
last thing I want to show you is a bouquet garni. Shush. The last thing I want to show you is a bouquet garni. What is a bouquet garni? It's a fragrance. Oh, let me quickly put that in there. Okay, get yourself some aprons. Wash your hands. Get your ingredients. If you go here, in here, there should be some saucepans that you could use. Right, work in 2 or 3. Right, you don't need a lot of ingredients. Get yourself a tray. Alright, in the meantime, I will do the demonstration. Work around the room, work in 2 or 3s, preferably working in pairs of 3s. I'll have a look. In the stores. Is the stores there? What took you so long?
Yeah, I told you.
What? Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Hold on. Just put your bag up the back there. And work with somebody. Is there any more? I'm looking. I've got. You know what, guys? If there's no more aprons, there's no more aprons. Just do that. Just be careful, all right? Right? Okay. Hi. So put yourself at the back there. Work in 3s. Get yourself. Work in 3s. Right? Is there coriander there? Oh yeah.
Okay, the leaf.
That's coriander. I'll put it over here separately. Right. So all the stuff you're going to need. All the stuff you're going to need. All the stuff you're going to need. I'm going to leave it on that page there. Don't take anything from off here, or else. Yeah. They're all here by looks of it. Except for I spoke to Tony this morning. Anton? Oh, Anton. Abdullah. He hasn't been back since last week. The 2 Graces, the 2 different Graces from there, I've never seen them. So I'm gonna email them now when I get a chance. Let's go around. It's not chase those Graces or what? Of course, that's fine. Maybe he's up in these. No. Oh, and where is she? Shannon. She's still not on my register. But she's still not on register. So it needs to be transferred.
Oh, okay. Straightforward.
I know you're going to fix it, do it nicely. I know you're going to do it nicely, right? Look at it. Right, have a look at it. Remember, if it was going out, you wouldn't look like that. Yeah, go look at it. Look. Yeah. Oh, ask somebody. But just wear what you're wearing. It's great for you. We have run out of aprons. So wear what you're wearing. Thank you so much. So what are you making? Carrot. Would you like some carrot coriander? But it's ready, yeah? Right. So hopefully there's a little croutons to go with it.
In an hour, yeah?
Yeah. Well, there might be within an hour. I'll look at something within the hour. Yeah, no worries.
Puree,
That's fine. Thing, isn't it?
On me. I'd rather you didn't carry on a tray. I'd rather you carry on. Oh, no, don't worry about that. Can you show you something?
Ground floor, isn't it? Yeah. Over there.
use that. You can use this.
Okay.
I don't want to run over the floor. Oh, okay. Alright, so you can use
And we're
that.
going to need some knives as well. Oh, and sanitizer.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you, Colin.
Come back to me, please do. Right. Can you remove those wonderful things off the table and put them by the sink? Right. Right. Anything over there. Over there. Right there. On the sink. On the sink, Brenda. Yeah. No. What's on? Take one. Take the whole. Over there. Over there. Over there. Over there. Right. Right. Folks, remember, just use the stuff. Let me plug some. Look at there. That leak that you've got, you don't need all of it. Right? So you're not going to need all of it. So make sure you share. Oh, look here. Look here. Look here. Look here. I'll save this one for you.
We don't need everything.
Right, look, folks, can I say something to you? Can I say something to you?
Yeah.
Let me say to you now. If you see a wire going across like that, don't walk across it. Go around. Right? It's my
That's what we say, low way back. That's low way. Till we get it. Till we get it.
Is everybody okay so far? Yeah. Yeah? Everybody alright? Everybody alright? Yeah. Well, you can. Yeah, there you go. It wasn't recording. Anyway, so I'm going to sweat the vegetables, cook it with that colour. Alright. Do not put the pan on the fire and walk away, leave it for 5 minutes, and then come back to it. The butter will burn. Right? Always remain as close to the saucepan as you can when you're cooking. Can you see where everything is for me?
Yeah.
It's in. Yeah? Right. So I'm going to start off now. The hardest vegetables will take the longest. So there's going to be the carrots. Yeah? So I'm going to split off my carrots first. Now I'm going to use all the carrots. I'm going to use all the carrots because after all it is a carrot and coriander soup. What I might, no, I'm not going to do that. Actually I will. I'm going to leave that one here. You don't have to. I'm going to leave that one there. I'm going to think about that after a while. I might turn it into like a little fancy garnish. We will see. Right. So, it's a nice high flame. Then I'm going to add my onions. Now, if I can turn this down,
Still frying.
But this one is on as well.
It's on.
Yeah, this one is on.
No, too low. Just make it low, lower it.
right, so I'm turning, that should be turning it down. Right, just turn it down a little bit.
Like it higher. It's too high.
It's higher.
Because it has long.
Right. Right, you can see what I'm doing. Right, so I was going to put these croutons. I'll put the croutons like that. I'm going to just quickly chuckle that there. Lovely.
Everything goes in there, isn't it?
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see that you put the soft vegetables in there first. The hard vegetables in there first. So,
Let it cook, yeah.
all right. Give it a stir. At this stage of the game, you don't want to add any salt. You might add your little salt cube, but it's going to add a little bit of flavour to it.
Okay.
But don't add no salt. When you're finishing your soup and you're blitzing it and you're going to serve it,
Can add salt.
then you add salt to taste. Because if you do it now and you've got salt in there and it starts to reduce and it gets more salty, you cannot take it out. So it's going to have your bouquet garden in there, it's going to have other things in there. The flavour is there. Salt brings up the flavour. So you can add it anytime. You can add it at the table, you can add it anytime. You understand?
Yeah.
So when you're doing things like stocks and sauces and soups, you can add the salt later on. If you're doing something like roast chicken or roast or something like that, you season it before so it absorbs the salt. The difference? You got the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see straight away that this soup is completely different from last week's. It's got more flavours in it and everything. It won't be as bland as last week's one. But last week's one, I was just showing you what you could do with an array of vegetables. Yeah, that's all I was trying to show you. So don't take it as it's written in stone. Right. Then, the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add my water. And this will be what you could break up the stock in the water, but it doesn't. What's different? All right. The water must be covering the vegetables. Give me another heater. Must be covering the vegetables. It takes about 20 minutes for that to cook. Fill it up, Elito says. Then you throw in your buki garni, and that will give you that enhanced flavour. Because it's got your thyme in there and your bits and pieces, your peppercorns and blah 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 blah. And why do we use a bouquet garni? We use a bouquet garni so that when the soup is cooked, all you've got to do is get your spoon like that and just fish it out like that, boom, boom. It comes out very easy. That's what it is. That's the only reason. Nothing too more technical than that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring it up to the boil, and then I'm going to put it on a simmer. Right. The ovens, I'm learning as much as you're learning. When you've got that, when you're working on the stove, by the way, this is called a solid top, and that's an open flame, right? So my open flame, I want it high. I put it so it's in the centre, right? When you're lighting the stove, you put it on the spark, and it will remain. It should remain on pilot. You went, no, it ain't. I just said to you, it's on pilot.
No.
Right? That's on pilot. No, that's on pilot. So you're not actually turning it off. You disable it for a start. If I want to do something else, I don't need it for another 20 minutes. I haven't got an open flame that's burning for no reason. Keep it on pilot. And then when I'm ready for it, I can turn it on. Yeah? When I want to turn it down, I'll turn it to the left. Okay? The same thing applies to the solid top, which is the bottom. So that one is for that one will be for that one is for that. I'm going to keep it high for the time being, so that get it nice and hot, and then I'll turn it down. The reason why we use a solid top, because the heat, the flame isn't so vicious. So when you're making a sauce, it won't be so vicious. It still could catch at the bottom, but it's more like the electric ones. It's yeah. It cooks even, and it's not so vicious. So that's why we use solid top. Normally for stocks and sauces. We don't use solid tops for stir fry, because stir fry is a vigorous, quick heat. Yeah? So we will use something like we're doing here now. Right? Okay. So once that comes to the boil, I'm going to reduce the heat and stick it on the solid top. Any questions? Any questions at all? Right. So sweating vegetables is cooking it without colour. When you're doing an array of vegetables, you always start with the one that is the hardest, like the root vegetable, and then you've got your stem and bulb, which is celery and onion and leeks. They can all cook at the same time because they all got about the same texture. Yeah? You got that? I'm going to turn off the thing, then you get on with it because you're rearing to go. Get on with it. So, the finishing product, I don't know what it's going to come out like, but as I said to you this morning, it's prepare, cook and finish. So you prepare it, you cook it. I did add a bit of seasoning to it. I added, if I tell you, right, start with half a teaspoon, which is 2.5 grams. A teaspoon is 5 grams. 2.5 grams of salt.
Yep.
And less than 2.5 grams of pepper. So if you put 2.5 grams of salt, you're going to put maybe half of that as much of pepper. You don't put this equal amounts of pepper to salt. Otherwise, in professional cooking, you allow the customer to adjust the seasoning at their table. If you've got too much pepper and too much salt, it's going to come back to the kitchen and you're going to get complaints. Not because the soup ain't nice, not because it ain't got the right texture, because it's been over seasoned. Let the customer add more if they want more. Remember what I said to you last week? You come into my kitchen, you empty out all of what you know, no matter what country you come from. You empty it all out. So you come here blank, and then you pick up what I give you, and you run with it. If you want to do it your way outside, no problem. But when you're being assessed, and you will be assessed, if it's over seasoned or anything, bad workmanship, the clatter all over the table and stuff like that, I won't pass you. Simple as. You'll be retaking it. That's all it is to it. And it will be a pain for you because when all your colleagues have gone to the college with their certificate, you'll still be here redoing things that you should have done properly the first time. Yeah? So that's how we work. This is a chinois, and this is a conical. Now, I don't know what's going to happen because I don't think it blended very well. But if it did blend very well, most of the soup would be nicely blended, right? Do I not have a ladle? Ladle, not soup spoon. Ladle. Ladle. Right? And if it was really nicely blended, that should be a bit thicker than what it is. It does taste nice. It's got lovely flavour. It's got this soup here does not compare to anything like last week. The flavour in this soup is amazing. It's nicely. It's got a little bit too much pepper actually. But apart from that, the only thing wrong with this soup here is the texture.
Because you didn't blend it up.
No, because the blender's broken. Right. So remembering that the soup itself, right? The soup itself. It could be thicker. It could be thicker. I'm just going to run with it because it's the lesson's nearly finished. Now I'm going to add my little garnish. You see? Now you see why I added that. Because when you add that, right, brunoise, and you get little bits of carrot, but it's cooked. Right, and it makes a difference. It makes a difference. If it was thicker than that, it would float. Yeah? And that is it. That is, voila. Oh, here you go. My vegetable soup. Well, this is vegetable soup because it's got a lot of carrots in there, but the principle is the same. My puree soup. There you go. Voila. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Right? And that's it. And that should be on Microsoft Teams, hopefully. Okay.